Okay, so first thing I want to say is that the video quality for game footage is not going to be up to quality for what we usually put out. We only have one capture device for console gaming that we share between us, and by share I mean it's Juan Snow's and he lets me borrow it. But he is working on a Zelda review, so he currently has the capture device, and I didn't want to wait for him to finish Zelda to play through and review this, so I recorded this using my phone. It's not perfect, but it worked. Just for reference, this is what the game is supposed to look like. There will also be spoilers for the original Shovel Knight and Plague of Shadows, if you haven't played those two already. Okay, so if you don't know Shovel Knight by now, you are living incorrectly. If you haven't played it, stop watching the review, play through the game, and come back, because it's one of the best games of all time, and it's basically the standard for what a good indie game and good Kickstarter look like. I mean, Shovel Knight is making cameos in pretty much every other indie game, it seems like. But that's right, Shovel Knight was a product of Kickstarter. During its campaign, it made over $300,000, which was a lot considering they only asked for $75,000 to make it. It was made by Yacht Club Games, and reached all of its stretch goals, which have been slowly coming out since its initial release in 2014, and consisted of things like new campaigns playing as all the boss characters, New Game Plus, and a gender swap mode. It has been released on pretty much every modern system. I have it on 3DS and Wii U, and the differences between each system are very minor, but you get the same experience for the most part no matter which system you choose to play on. The original Shovel Knight is a 2D side-scrolling adventure game, complete with 8-bit graphics and an incredible chiptune soundtrack from none other than one of my favorite game composers, Jake Kaufman. Shovel Knight borrowed elements from Mega Man, Castlevania, DuckTales, and Super Mario 3 and combined them in a way that resulted in a fantastic game that simultaneously oozed originality while also paying tribute to the games that inspired it. The original game, now known as Shovel of Hope, follows the story of Shovel Knight and Shield Knight. They are the best adventurers in all the land. One day Shield Knight is exploring the Tower of Fate and becomes locked inside. Depressed by the loss of his love, Shovel Knight quits his heroics and becomes a farmer. During his time of absence, the evil Enchantress and her Order of No Quarter take over the land, forcing Shovel Knight out of retirement to fight evil once again. Like Mega Man, each level has a unique boss and a level theme based off of that boss. It features exploration within the levels to get items and some of the very best platforming and gameplay. Shovel Knight is able to use different weapons to fight and traverse the stages, and he can use his shovel like Scrooge McDuck's cane and pogo on enemies' heads. There's also a map overworld where you can pick what level you want to go to next, or even visit different towns to purchase things at shops and complete side quests. This also provides some structure to the levels that you can finish first, because you can't go to certain levels without completing other levels first. At the end of the game, it is revealed that the Enchantress is actually Shield Knight. Shovel Knight is able to separate Shield Knight from the evil within her, transforming the evil into the Remnant of Fate, which Shovel Knight and Shield Knight defeat together and go adventuring happily together again. In 2015, Shovel Knight Plague of Shadows was released. It was the first big expansion to the game, and it was given free to anyone who owned the original Shovel Knight. In Plague of Shadows, you play as Plague Knight, which I loved because he's my favorite of the boss knights. The story of Plague Knight occurs parallel to Shovel of Hope, revealing Plague Knight's alternative intentions to actually defeat his fellow Order of No Quarter companions, as well as Shovel Knight, and harvest their essence to create a potion. The gameplay is severely different from Shovel of Hope. Plague Knight uses potions and bombs to attack and get around. Each potion has a different reaction, resulting in different approaches to combat and exploration. He can also double jump and charge to make a larger jump for difficult to reach places. The level designs and map are largely the same as Shovel of Hope, with some changes to the dialogue with NPCs and a different hub city from Shovel Knight. At the end, it's revealed Plague Knight was collecting the essence to create a potion to try and get Mona to fall in love with him, but Mona reveals that she already loves him. So, Plague Knight attempts to destroy the potion, which results in the creation of a Dark Shadow Plague Knight. He fights and destroys the shadow and stabilizes his new potion. Since he already has Mona's affection, he uses the potion to destroy the tower and leaves with Mona. Specter of Torment is the third and most recent expansion to be released. It was released on the Nintendo Switch on March 3rd, April 21st on Wii U, and April 25th on pretty much every other system. Along with Specter of Torment, the Treasure Trove update is also being released on those days as well. The Treasure Trove version of the game includes all 3 expansions for the price of the original Shovel Knight release. Otherwise, you can get each expansion separately for cheaper. If you've already purchased the original Shovel Knight, you'll get Specter of Torment for free. The Treasure Trove update also adds multiplayer support to all consoles, previously exclusive to the Wii U with the use of an amiibo, a gender swap mode, and the new Fairy Edition, which summons a helper if an amiibo is used. Specter of Torment is a full expansion, like Plague of Shadows was. It follows the story of Specter Knight, my second favorite knight from the Order, behind Plague Knight of course. Unlike Plague of Shadows, Specter of Torment does not occur alongside the original game. Rather, it's a prequel to the original game. The story is that shortly after meeting his death in the Tower of Fate, the Enchantress resurrects Specter Knight and employs his services to seek out the other knights and create the Order of No Quarter. In order to employ a knight, Specter Knight must defeat them in combat. Also, unlike Plague of Shadows, each level is not the same as the original game either. While each level maintains the central theme, each level has been completely redone, and the boss fights and music have all been remixed to better suit Specter Knight's fighting style. In addition to traveling through the levels connected to each knight, there are flashback sequences to play through which explore Specter Knight's origins. Specter Knight attacks with his scythe, as well as can use curios, which are basically spells he can cast with spirit energy. His health is also will, which I thought was an interesting and funny way to work around his immortality, since he can't die, but you can destroy his will to live. One major difference is that the overworld map is gone on this one, replaced instead with a simple level select screen. This means that there are no towns aside from the opening hub world and the Tower of Fate, and this means that you can do any level whenever you want. You don't have to beat a certain one first. There's no order. The hub at Tower of Fate is pretty cool too, with some areas to explore and NPCs to interact with. The tower also becomes more full with henchmen and knights as you play through levels. You also have to collect red skulls through the levels, which are used to unlock more curios. I found them easier to find than the pages and other collectibles of the first two games though, but that just might be because I'm used to where the hiding places usually are because I played the first two so many times. The most unique addition to Specter of Torment is the homing attack. Specter Knight can home in on enemies and slash through them, giving himself a boost up or down. It's the primary method of platforming in this game, and honestly it makes boss fights really easy, since you can just continuously attack them as you home in, attack, and bounce off, and repeat. It's definitely the easiest of the three as far as the boss fights are concerned. It's also the shortest of the three since you don't have the extra levels or towns to traverse. I did, however, find the platforming to be the most difficult of the three games. I just couldn't get the hang of it, and I died a lot because I misjudged the distance of a jump, or more often than not, homing dashed through an enemy in the downward direction by accident and threw myself down a hole. The wall running mechanic felt weird to me too. He just runs in short bursts up walls and can't slide down them, which I think something like Mega Man X's wall jump would have worked better. The moving stages proved difficult too because the platforming was so awkward to me, and don't even get me started on Horace's stupid fucking race in the tower. It's hard as weak old shit. All in all, Specter of Torment is a solid addition to the Shovel Knight family. While it's the shortest and easiest in terms of boss fights, and while I found the platforming to be awkward and unintuitive in comparison to Shovel of Hope and Plague of Shadows, the story and overall gameplay of Specter of Torment was satisfying and enjoyable. What I really liked about both Specter of Torment and Plague of Shadows is that it's giving the members of the Order good backstories, personalities, and purpose beyond just being bad guys. You understand why they joined the Enchantress, and what they hope to gain from their services in the Order. There's a fourth Shovel Knight revolving around King Knight coming out later this year, and I'm excited to see where it takes the game next. Thanks for watching everybody, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Until next time.